It's still a little early in the day, so bear with me here. I watched it. The film Red movie is finally out. I'm gonna use the first half of this video as just non-spoilers, just give out my overall thoughts, and then we can get into the real juice, all the lore, and everything fun that I noticed and I saw in this movie that we really need to talk about. We just got a spoiler for Luffy's true dream. This shit is cool. For my thoughts, I thought the movie was pretty enjoyable. We got introduced to Uda, who is Shanks' daughter. Honestly, looking back on it, this is really lame. It was really cool, the initial shock value when we first see the trailer, but the execution was just kind of whatever. I get it. It's cool. Uda's only cool because she is Shanks' daughter. That's it, which just kind of bums me out. Uda is a musician, which means that you can't really go 10 minutes into this film without hearing her sing another song. Now, normally, I would hate this, but the songs that she sings are kind of fire. I especially like this one song. It's like a very high intensity song towards the middle. Super sick. Probably my personal favorite out of all of them. I went into this movie not only to have a good time, but to also get me some lore dumps for One Piece. Did we get that? Yes and no. It's interesting. Shanks is obviously a big player in this movie, and that horrified me. I didn't want the first time we actually truly get to see Shanks, properly, to be in a movie. I want it to be in the manga, the anime, right? In the actual series. And I think it was handled very well. Shanks was utilized as not only an important character that we could follow, but also still a mystery. We really don't know who this guy is, even after watching this film, which is great. This movie is jam-packed with a lot of characters. They're not pulling from the A-tier characters or the S-tier characters. They're really going for F-tier, D-tier, C-tier characters, bottom of the barrel picks, which I think is really cool. Now, a lot of characters that did get introduced, really did not need to be there. Yeah, it's cool that we get to see this guy, but if this guy doesn't do anything, what was the point, The fight scenes in this movie obviously are great. We get some really cool combo attacks, which one of my favorite fights in the actual One Piece series is the Thriller Bark fight when the crew is fighting Moria. And I like it especially because it's the Straw Hats, no Luffy, teaming up together, using their unique little quirks, mix and matching with one another to defeat this villain right in front of them. Though we don't get that exactly, we do get people, I'm gonna do this, and then you're gonna do this, and then now we're gonna have a sick attack. I love that shit, dude. I love it. And I feel like One Piece rarely ever does that, man. The plot, though, is super confusing. I had a huge headache trying to understand what the heck was going on. There are so many plot twists in this film that honestly, it's what is even going on? Shit just happens. Just be okay with it. Obviously, the animation is awesome when it wants to be. There is a lot of CGI in this film. I think it was used very well. It never got out of hand, and I think it was actually very necessary. Overall, before we get into the actual spoiler section of this video, I want to say I would give the movie a solid 7.5 out of 10. It really isn't groundbreaking in any way. I think it's a really great time, but I will warn the anime-only viewers, be very, very careful. The animators, for some reason, made a decision. It's more like an inclusion of something near the end of the film. For manga readers, it's really, really fucking cool. For everybody else, dude, this shit was highly unnecessary. We did not need this in the movie. It literally felt like the animators just wanted to spoil the actual series. Why? I'm hoping if you're an anime only, you just don't see it. One dude in my theater literally got up and just started pointing at it. What the fuck? Why is that there? Why is it there? It didn't even do anything. I'll talk about it in the spoiler section. You know what? Let's just, spoiler section right now. Leave this video right now if you're not caught up on the manga and you haven't seen the film, okay? Why is Gear 5 included in this movie? I heard that Gear 5 was going to be in this movie, and I heard it was going to be very, very subtle. That was not subtle. What the fuck? Why did they do that? And it's frustrating because now I'm thinking about this film and I'm like, we had Wano, an arc that was built up for so long, get rushed at the very end, at the very climax of the entire thing. The raid was so fucking long, dude. And you're telling me we got a rushed ending to fit this film because they needed to finish Gear 5, they needed to get Kaido down, they needed to show Shanks at the end of Wano arc, and they needed to show Uda just in time for this film to come out. So the manga suffered. We got a rushed ending, which kind of made Wano dip in quality overall. And then we also got just straight up spoilers for the anime onlys in this film, and I'm just really upset with the decisions that they're making right now. I feel like they're making some moolah, making some money over an actual great story. This movie is really just about selling some CDs, peeling back those layers. If it wasn't One Piece and this was just some other series, it's really fun. They're just getting away with it because it's One Piece and we all love One Piece. Okay, but now actual lore stuff that I really want to talk about. Some of them I knew going into it just because of the leaks that came out when the movie was released in Japan, but some of these are notable and no one really talked about them, at least from the videos I watched. First of all, the Sunny has a soul, which is super cool, dude. This is like the first confirmation of not only the Going Merry, their previous ship, having a soul, but now the Sunny actually has a soul. I usually always would have preferred the Going Merry over the Thousand Sunny, just because, you know, the Going Merry actually felt like it was a part of the crew, and its death scene was so sad. I can't believe I cried over a fucking boat. The Thousand Sunny never really did that to me. It never really felt like it had a personality that way, but now seeing Sunny walk around, it's adorable, dude. We also found out that Shanks was found in a treasure chest. That was pretty cool. It was a very blink and you miss it kind of scene. Shanks's haki is strong enough to take down a vice admiral, which is sick. All the admirals were just straight up like, yeah, we can't really be doing this right now. Moving on, this is the big one. I think we just got a spoiler for Luffy's true dream. Not exactly, obviously, it's still a mystery, but at least it gives us a little bit more direction as to where our minds should be go when thinking about this subject. So, do you guys remember that awesome scene where Luffy was on his knees with two blades to his side, modeling or paralleling the exact way Roger was executed? Roger had died. Now, this isn't the first time we've ever seen Luffy's actions, Luffy get put into a pose that parallels or reflects how Roger used to be in the past, right? Oda likes doing this a lot, but I think this was like a really big one because at some point in the film, Oda asks Luffy what he really wants to do. And obviously we know that Luffy's true dream resembles Roger's true dream, right? And Roger obviously had to have completed it. He had to have completed it, which would have given Luffy the inclination that I need to become the Pirate King, the king of the pirates, to be able to complete this next step, the thing I actually want to do. So when Uda asks Luffy what he wants to do, Luffy just responds with, he wants to create a new era. Uda the whole time is saying how she wants to make a new era, blah, 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 blah. Luffy wants to do the same thing too, which now that I think about it in hindsight is really obvious. I know a lot of people were like, he's gonna throw the biggest party in the world. He's gonna collect all the treasure. But honestly, yeah, it makes sense. Luffy just wants to make a new pirate era. Maybe not pirate, maybe an era of freedom. I don't know, everyone eating food, everyone being free of oppression, because that's kind of what Luffy's been doing as the story's been progressing. Maybe the pirate era, yes, it was cool. Yes, it was fun. But maybe he just wants to go into an era of peace where people can be happy and doesn't have to be affected by the world. I don't really know. I haven't really thought about this fully in depth, read the manga, went through panels trying to connect things together. I just noticed this and I wanted to throw it out into the One Piece community to see what you guys would do with this information. I do need to go back and see exactly what the wording is on that scene. Luffy's true dream. We're one step closer to figuring out the truth. And you know, I'm just a guy who makes videos and watch the film. There's probably a lot that I missed, and if you have some cool lore bits that I just completely didn't talk about, let me know down below, because I'm a One Piece fan. I take what I can get and I watch all these videos just to get a little bit closer to figuring out the truth that Oda is probably already foreshadowed and thrown right in our face already. If you're new here to the channel, consider subscribing. I really like the movie. That's it.